Welcome to another session of the Align Strategy session, where we talk about really how to align business and life, and just bringing in people across different industries and expertise to really talk about what that kind of looks like. So what it looks like in business and life, and talking about simplifying. Today, we're going to talk a lot about simplifying. I'm super excited to bring in Chantelle Davis-Gray today. And we are going to dive in and talk about simplification. There's nobody that I've seen who has done it in such a bold, cool way as Chantelle. So I'm excited about this because, as we know, the more aligned that we can feel in businesses and our life, I mean, just everything just flows so much better. So Chantelle, welcome. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to chat. Yeah, this is great.
I'm super excited to chat. So what I did say about you is that what you help people with are websites. And we'll go into, Yep, go ahead.
I was just going to say websites, and I also do branding and card decks, but websites is the big thing I think we're going to talk about today. So
yeah, we'll talk about how you really honed in on the website piece specifically. But to note, you do, I mean, branding a lot of times goes hand in hand with websites, would you say? Would you say most of your clients, when they're getting a website done, that just kind of...
It's always touched, but I'm not always doing like a full branding package, because depending on where someone is in their business, they either already have their brands kind of established, or they're so early on that it's kind of like they know there's going to be tweaking happening and they're not quite ready to invest in like the total package. So we're setting them up with something more foundational that we know they're going to probably be adjusting the brand a bit in that first couple of years. So I'd say maybe 50-50 are people that I only do the website for versus do everything.
Got it. Yep, that makes sense. So you've been so those are things you learn along the way, right?
Yes.
So you've been in business for well over a decade.
Yep.
And what really intrigued, super wild. What intrigued me about when we first met, which we met through networking, was your one client method.
Yep.
So let's talk about that. Talk to me.
Yes.
Tell me again how that came about. How long you've been doing it.
Okay.
And,
I'll tell you all the things. So I've been in business since 2014. My goodness. Yeah, that is wild. So, and I changed to this method, I think in 2023. So for most of my business, I was not working this way. Most of my time I spent doing the more what I call traditional way that designers work, where I juggled many clients at a time. So I used to compare it to spinning plates, like that old comedy routine where like you have to spin you have like a row of spinning plates, and as one stops, you get them all spinning, but then the first one stops and you never get to breathe because you're just always trying to keep the plates spinning. And that's eventually how it felt. Like, not so much in the beginning when I didn't have a full client load yet, but like once I was fully booked, it felt like I couldn't really breathe anymore. So yeah, don't recommend necessarily getting to that point where you feel like you can't breathe in your business, because one thing, running my own business, like one thing that has always been so important to me was like trying to remember that the reason I went into business with myself was to get to choose how I wanted it to look, and to get to choose how do I value success and all of these things. And being totally burnt out was exactly why I left corporate. So once I reached that point again, I was like, crap, I did this to myself. And I don't know if you hear this, like when you're in a busy season, it's quote unquote, it's a good problem to have. And yes, that's true. And it's not sustainable. So I knew something had to change. I couldn't really quite figure it out on my own. And then I met a woman named Jess Haney, who is a copywriter. She also does a bunch of stuff with like SaaS companies and podcasting. And anyway, she's very, very smart, very cool. And she was running this program called the One Client Method. And I had met her in another group coaching program. And I was like, oh my goodness, yes, because she had shifted to only one client at a time. And so I decided, okay, I keep trying to figure out how to make this work on my own, and I haven't been able to. So yes, please teach me all your ways. So I went through that program, and through that program, I did figure out all the nitty gritty details on how to actually make it work so that I could have a sustainable business and still get to serve the clients that are really, my favorite kind of clients, my aligned clients, while getting to breathe again. So now I only work with one client at a time. So what that means is I'm essentially always working in a sprint. So I do full day intensives, half day intensives, and then for the bigger projects, the more robust websites, is a week or two, depending on the scope. So now my calendar, I can actually like plan life. And when I go on vacation, there's like a clean break between projects instead of just always, again, feeling like I'm constantly trying to catch up. And I do want to add that like, I'm a Virgo. B, I was a project manager for a while in my corporate life. So it's not like, oh, well, you just didn't have the schedule figured out. No, I did. It's just that with the way things overlapped, it just didn't work for me anymore. So, so it's been quite life-changing and highly recommend.
The shift is just, it's just night and day. It's not like we're going to tweak a couple things. That's a
Correct.
a total business shift.
Yes.
And not
It's
only scary, scary. And the scary part of too, like the pipeline, right?
Yes.
Like talk about that piece.
Yes. So I think that's the thing, like the one big thing is that it does kind of, again, like filter who is a good fit for me, who's aligned. Because now the people that really need a lot of time with things to like really think and like show a ton of people and get many opinions and all that kind of stuff, those now aren't my aligned people anymore, because with the week-long project, like I'm sending things in the afternoon and getting feedback the next morning. So it is fast turnaround through the whole week. So if you're someone that's really indecisive, like that's not going to feel great. And so, it's up to people to be self-aware enough to recognize when it's not going to be a good fit. And then I am always happy to refer, there are plenty of other Squarespace website designers out there that I adore, that I'm in little designer groups with, and I send them to them. But I will say that it also, there's been some interesting like things that I really didn't expect, like interesting benefits, I guess, for my clients that I didn't expect when I first started this, which is the accountability piece. And the fact that you have less time to and ah actually is really helpful for a lot of people, because then they can't just spiral themselves into questioning everything. Like they do have to go with their gut and know who their clients are. So it's been really cool to see those like extra benefits, and also less cold feet about launching, which is one of the like coolest unexpected benefits. Again, because it's the process in a traditional process for those that haven't gone through it. It's like 6 to 12 weeks usually. So in that time, there are many like pauses and restarts that happen. And I find that sometimes the momentum gets lost, or like the energy dips, and like they're less excited or more nervous about launching when the time finally comes, because there's been such a long lead time. But with this 1 week, yes, there is still plenty of time for them to work with a marketing person, work with a copywriter, do all of that stuff up front. But then once I actually get started, it's like 10 days later. So that momentum and energy is still really high. There's still so much excitement. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I love that a lot. That kind of takes up like what I talk about a lot with people is trusting your body instead of putting your brain into it. So that kind of
Ooh,
forces
yes.
that to happen, right? So like,
Yes.
okay, we're just, because our brain is the thing that gets in the way, right? Like if we just trust our gut and our
Yes.
even our intuition, a lot of
Yes.
times that's like the way to go. I mean, granted, a lot of us have different decision processes. So
Correct.
some of us
Exactly.
take time, but to your point, then maybe that's not the right client for you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I can see what you're saying too, like in terms of crunching that time. Like I run a client attraction boot camp and I've done it in ways of like, hey, we're just going to knock this out in 2 weeks. And other ones like, let's go at your own pace.
Yep.
And a lot of times to go at your own pace, it never gets done
Exactly.
because it's just, things come up.
Yes.
It gets prioritized down
Exactly.
at the bottom. So yeah, that totally makes
Exactly.
sense.
Yeah. Sometimes the like built-in restriction is really helpful.
Yeah, we all need deadlines, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of us do. And I am one of those people. Like, that's why I always have a business coach. Like, I think so much of business owning is, like it's a forced course in self-development. And like, you get to know yourself. You start to know what do you need in order to actually get things done well and feel good. And for me, external accountability definitely helps.
Yeah, that's huge for sure. So speaking of the client attraction bootcamp,
Yes.
so what I help people with is going all in on their ideal client. And you've talked about this, like your aligned client that you want to bring in.
Yep.
And one of the concerns I get from people is, well, if I go all in on one client, doesn't that exclude a bunch of other people and won't that hinder my growth? Where I'm going with this is you went all in on Squarespace
Yep.
as a platform versus just saying
Everything.
whatever.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, actually, so of course, like knowing we were going to chat today, I was thinking so much about like there's so many conversations about niching and figuring out who your ideal client is. And I think sometimes when people, and I haven't gone through your boot camp, so I'm actually really curious what your thoughts are on this. And then I swear I will actually answer your question. But I think people think, like for me, like I serve other business owners. And so people are always like, well, who do you serve? And my answer is do good, feel good businesses, which is pretty broad. I have like a lot of sub kind of categories under that. And so some people are like, well, that's so broad. Don't you need to niche down more? And I realized this morning, well, no, because to your point, I niched in platform, but that's not a thing that people like think of. So I think it's really cool. Like having this conversation kind of gave me that aha of like, wow, yeah, I kind of did, but in a different way. So anyway.
Yeah, it is really cool. To me, you've niched and clarified in so many ways. The one client method
True.
in the Squarespace, I mean, that is specific and very clear.
Yeah, it's true. It's just, I never really thought about it that way. So it's cool. So in the beginning of my business, I was not we said I was doing the traditional way of juggling many clients, and B, I was doing many platforms. So I was still doing WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, Shopify, like big commerce, like you name it, and I would help you and do it. However, as time went on and I got busier and I realized, just from sheer numbers, I started to realize what I didn't love about other platforms. WordPress, I ended up starting to feel like an IT person instead of a designer because of the maintenance and the updates you need to do. And a lot of my clients were not, they still aren't. A lot. I tend to attract clients that don't love the tech life. So WordPress is not great for them. And yeah, so I was like, okay, this isn't great. Like, I don't want to be doing updates and whatever, backups stuff. So that wasn't great. Wix, I just think is extremely chaotic and overwhelming unnecessarily for people. Shopify can get frustrating. So each of these things had issues that I was getting frustrated with. And Squarespace, yes, it does have its issues. And especially back then, some of the editing features were frustrating, but it was less frustrating. And what I really loved about it was how much simpler it was for my clients to make their own updates. So again, I am usually working with like micro businesses, like solopreneurs or really tiny nonprofits. And sometimes just like on a practical level, they don't have the budget to have someone maintain the site for them. They don't have maintenance package money. And I didn't want that to hold them back from being able to make updates. Like, it's your business. You should be able to go in and touch it. Like, I'm not going to keep it from you. I'm not holding the keys to your castle. And Squarespace, I really felt like made that so much simpler for people so that I could feel comfortable. Okay, I'm giving you these training videos. I know it's scary, but I trust you can do it. And now, of course, there are some people that are like, yeah, I know I can, I just really don't want to. And great, I do still offer a maintenance package, but at least then I don't feel like it's a have to, it's a want to kind of thing. And I will say through the years, Squarespace has changed and updated so much that now I feel even better about it because it's even more intuitive. So yeah, that's how it was an evolution. And I don't remember when I stopped the others. I guess there wasn't like a hard,
natural.
yeah, exactly.
So what is it? So being on the other side, which, do good, feel good.
Yes.
But going down to Squarespace and working with one client at a time, what has that done for your business in terms of the simplicity? I know you touched on a little bit, and in relationship with your clients.
Yeah. I mean, simplicity in so many ways. So again, being the Virgo project manager, I have always I have Dubsado, I have a CRM, I have processes, I have workflows, I have templates, I have all the things. However, now that it is a specific time frame for every single project, there is less rethinking each time. It's like, nope, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know which pages I'm working on which days. I know when I'm going to need client feedback. I know when I'm going to need them to do tech things for me. It's just all of that decision and figuring out stuff is done because it is the exact same for every project. So that's wonderful. It also, I think, makes it, this isn't necessarily simplification, but it's kind of related. It made it much easier for me to hold boundaries. And maybe that's a whole other podcast about mindset and psychology and therapy, but yeah, there's less, it's not less flexibility because of course, I'm still human, God forbid something comes up, we shift the project, that still happens. But it's just much more defined. And I think what it is because I'm only working with one client and my clients know that, they understand that if they're late, there is a hard stop because another new client is ready for their VIP time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just made it so much easier for me to hold boundaries.
Yeah.
And not that I was awful at it before, but it's definitely much better now. And I also think, again, on the client side, they know exactly what to expect. They can plan their week accordingly. And we choose it together, right? It's not like I'm just forcing a specific week on them. We're choosing a week together. They can say, okay, my kids are on vacation that week, so that's not ideal. I have this coming up. They can choose a good week for themselves where they know that they'll be able to put in the time and energy and focus with me for that one concentrated short time period.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was just pulling up your human design chart too, because I was everything you're saying, I'm you're line 1, which also, so line 1 is, deep learning, deep understanding. You're here to understand things very thoroughly. And I just wonder if that has something to do with the way, you go all in. You're blocking off time and you know that platform so deeply.
Yes. That is so true.
Part of it. Yeah, it's so interesting.
That is so, so true. And I think, that is, yes, to your point, like, yes, it was other things bothering me about the other platforms, but being able to only do one does mean, you're right. Like, I know Squarespace inside and out. And I do so many sites that, like, now I'm like a quote unquote platinum whatever member. And I don't know if people honestly even care about that, but like there is some, like, I guess, like, proof, quote unquote, for my expertise, because I have been working on this platform for so long and I live and breathe it. So like, I know its quirks and I know how to get around them. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I mean, the depth of knowledge that someone has, and especially when you're in a tight time frame, when you're like,
yes,
you've seen it all, so you can troubleshoot real quickly and can stay within it, and it's just like boom,
exactly.
boom, boom.
Yeah. And like, even like the fancy coding CSS stuff that I add, again, like, I'm in it all the time. So I know it. Yeah. It's like another little language to me.
Right. Makes it more efficient. And then again, like you talked about earlier, like the whole reason we go into business, right, is to have that balance. And then you can, in good conscience, go on vacation or plan your off time and all the things.
Yes.
In a very aligned
exactly.
manner.
Yes.
I love this so much.
Yeah.
I think what you're
cool.
doing is so cool. And I talk all day, every day about the importance of alignment and really tuning into ourselves, taking the time to understand ourselves and building our marketing and our business around it, just because without it, that's when you start spinning and you're like, why the hell did I do this anyway?
Exactly.
What did I do?
Then you might as well just be working for someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So building something like it, you're proof. When you do that, it feels good.
Yes.
It feels aligned, and business is more effective. Like you're more effective with your clients. You're building in a way that feels good. So
yeah, totally.
Thank you for being our proof.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love it so much. Where can people, if they want to be in your world, what's the best way to connect with you?
So my home base is my website, of course, because I'm a website designer. So ChantelleDavisGray.com. I also hang out on Instagram and LinkedIn, probably more than I should. So you can find me there. And yeah, I mean, of course, I do have a newsletter. And one thing that's kind of fun that I'm experimenting with right now is it's not an audit, but it's a tiny little micro audit. So when people sign up, and if they share their website with me, then I will take a peek at it and send them one thing that they can do on their homepage to help with conversion. Because there's usually one little tweak that when you're too close to it, you don't see. So if you want to go to ChantelleDavis.com/Bria, you will see the sign up for that.
I love that so much. It is always just like that one little, just give me one little tweak.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Somewhere to start. And then from there, of course, there's always other places to go.
It can get overwhelming, but just one little start can make a big difference.
Yeah, I love that so much. Yeah, we'll include all the links.
Thank you.
Everywhere that you can find Chantelle. And yeah, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.